Okay guys, welcome to today's video and welcome to episode 2 of the fat loss phase. So it's been about a week since I made the last video. I apologise for the long wait on episode 2, but we are making some good progress. We weighed in at week 1 last week at 88.9 kilos and the weigh-in this morning was 87.5, so about a kilo and a half drop. And over the weekend we hit 86.5, which was a little spike, which was good to see. In terms of the fat calipers, we've dropped 1 millimeter with the fat calipers, so you'll be able to see that on screen now. And so we're making good progress, which is really good to see. So what I want to do in today's video is show you guys how I've worked out my calories for this fat loss phase and then how I've broken them down into a macronutrient ratio, so you guys can do the same thing if you're trying to lose some body fat. Okay, I'm going to go and get a shower now and get sorted, and then we're going to jump straight into working out these calories. Okay guys, we're going to jump into the nutrition plan now. I'm going to use my computer as a reference because I've got the document that you will see on the screen now on my screen, so I can walk you guys through it, and I thought this would be a lot better way for you guys to do it. I did have it raw out on a whiteboard, but it looked a bit crap, so I'm doing it this way. I think it'll be a lot better, and you can follow it along on the screen and screenshot it if you want to remember any of the multiplications and all that sort of stuff, so you can do this yourself. So when we think of a nutrition plan, the first thing we need to think of is how many calories do we need to eat. So the way we work that out is we use an online calculator. That's how I do it. You can do it another way by doing all the formulas yourself, but that is difficult, and might as well use the internet and use a calculator online, which I use tdeecalculator.net. You go on there and you plug in your information, which is going to be your height, your weight, your age, and your activity level. Your activity level is how active you are throughout the day, and it will give you an amount of calories that is roughly the amount of calories you need to eat every single day to stay the exact same way. As you can see on the screen now, my TDEE comes out at 2,950. So my typical daily energy expenditure, TDEE, is 2,950. And if I ate them calories every single day for a week, I would stay the exact same way, roughly, give or take. But we want to lose a little bit of body fat, so we need to subtract a couple of calories off them. And what I've done is I've just took 400 off. I don't want to go too far and take, say, 1,000 off, because then it's going to make the diet unsustainable, and I'll possibly end up binge eating after even a couple of days or even a week. You're definitely going to start binge eating and struggling with the diet because you just won't have enough food in your system to get through the day. So I've took 400 off, and that's given me a calorie goal of 2,550 calories. So that's the calorie goal that I'm going to be aiming for every single day throughout this fat loss phase, until we get to a point where I am not making any progress anymore, and then I'll alter it and maybe take a few more off. So that is going to be the number I'm going to be hitting every single day, and that is going to be my main priority. Priority number 1 is to hit that calorie goal every single day. But to make things a little bit more optimal, we need to start thinking about macronutrients. Macronutrients are broken down into 3 things. So you got protein, fats, and carbohydrates. The most important one to me is going to be protein, because I'm trying to retain as much muscle as possible. I want to keep as full as possible, and protein is very satiating. And I want the recovery from eating protein, because protein is what helps us recover more than any other of the macronutrients, because it helps build new tissue and helps repair it and all that sort of stuff. So protein is my main priority. So to work out my protein goal, I get my body weight in pounds, which is 197 pounds, as you will see on the screen there, and then I times that by 1.1. You can times it by 0.8 to about 1.2. That's like the normal range people do it between. I like to go a little bit above 1 on this one, just to give me a little bit extra protein to help me keep full, and obviously help me retain as much muscle as possible, because when you're on a fat loss phase, you could have the possibility of losing muscle because you are in a calorie deficit. So you want to be making sure that you're hitting that protein goal. And when I times it by 1.1, it gives me 215 grams of protein. Well, it actually gives me 216, but I've just rounded it down to the 215. So that's what I'm going for, 215 grams of protein, which if you times that by 4, because there's 4 calories in 1 gram of protein, it gives me 860 calories, which is obviously made up from my whole entire calorie goal. So that 860 calories there fits into my 2,550 calories. So the next thing that I like to look at is going to be my fat goal. Now, people have this misconception about fat, that it is bad for you and fat makes you fat and all that sort of stuff, which is total bollocks. Fat is actually really important in terms of hormone production, making you feel better throughout the day, keeping you satiated as well, because fat is very satiating. loads of other things throughout the body. It's an energy source to the body as well as carbohydrates. So it's very, very important that we don't undereat on fat, because if we do, we'll feel like crap, and we'll just end up the same way as if we go too far into a deficit. We'll just end up feeling really bad about ourselves, and we will end up just sacking the diet off and binge eating. So really important that we have a good level of fat. So what I like to do is I normally aim for about 20 to 25% to 30% of my calorie goal as fat. So I've got in the middle this time, 25% of my total calories is going to be fat, and as you can see on the screen there, 25% of my total calories is 635 calories. Now there's 9 calories in 1 gram of fat, so all we do with this one here is we divide the 635 by 9, and that gives us our fat macronutrient goal for this fat loss phase, which is 70 grams. Okay, so on to the last one now, which is going to be our carbohydrate goal. Now carbohydrates, you're just going to use the remaining calories that you've got left, which I have 1,550 left when I take off my protein calories and my fat calories off my total calories. I have 1,550 calories left, and all I'm going to do is divide that by 4, because there's 4 calories in 1 gram of carbohydrate, and that is going to give me my carbohydrate macronutrient target, which is going to be 264. So when we think of it, my total calorie goal, which is my main priority, is 2,550. My protein goal is 215 grams. My fat goal is 70 grams. And my carbohydrate goal is 264 grams. Now, from the macronutrients, protein is my main priority in terms of that. But if I've hit my protein goal and my fats and my carbohydrates are a little tiny bit off, I'm really not too bothered. My protein's bang on. That's my main priority. Protein and fats can kind of, they just work themselves out. It just depends what I eat throughout the day, because I don't tend to eat the same thing every single day. Sometimes my carbs might be a little bit higher and my fats might be a little bit, tiny bit lower, and vice versa. So the main priority is to hit that calorie goal, number 1, and then to hit that protein goal, number 2, and then carbs and fats normally just fall into place. So it's just, you just do what you can really to try and hit them as best you can. You're never going to be able to hit your protein, your fats and your carbs bang on every single day throughout the whole fat loss phase, because unless you eat the exact same thing every single day and you've literally weighed it down to a T, it's just never going to happen. So you have to learn to just live with what the numbers are. As long as you're hitting the main priorities, then you're going to be okay. So don't worry if you can't hit things bang on. Trust me, it doesn't really make a big difference. As long as you're not going miles over your calories, so like going over like 500 calories, then you're definitely not going to be in a calorie deficit. So that is going to play a big part. So make sure you hit the calorie goal within 50 to 100 calories either way. That's what I normally like to say. So if I've got 2,550 calories, I don't want to go over more than 50 calories. Don't want to go under more than 50 calories. So that's how I like to play it. And then on top of that nutrition plan there, I give myself an exercise calorie goal for every single day, which will be from either steps, doing a steady state sort of run, a HIIT session. I don't use my weight training sessions as calories burn. I try to get these calories burnt. These calories burnt from either doing walking or running or some sort of activity like that. So I've given myself a goal of 200 to 300 calories every single day burnt through doing walking, running, HIIT training or some sort of cardio based workout. So with that there, that puts me in about a 700 calorie deficit, which is quite extreme. But the goal that I've set myself is to get down to 80 kilos within 6 weeks. So it's about 6 kilos I need to lose. So I need to be losing nearly a kilo a week, which is very, very drastic in terms of fat loss. So I wouldn't really advise that if you're just starting out. You want to take it as slow as possible to retain as much muscle as possible. But summer's coming to an end and I want to get in better shape than what I'm in now. So that's why I'm using this drastic sort of measure. So I hope that made sense a little bit to you. I know it can get a little bit complicated when you start going into it and doing all the multiplications and stuff like that. So if you are stuck with it, just drop me a comment down below. I can whip one of these up in a few seconds for you, and you'll be on your way. And as long as you hit these calorie goals, you'll be absolutely fine. If you're struggling with the protein and the fats and the carbohydrates, then just find your protein, your calorie goal on the tdecalculator.net and just hit that calorie goal every single day, and you will start making some progress.
Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that nutrition plan. I'm going to jump into a quick workout now. We're going to do a leg workout. It's starting to rain a tiny little bit, so it's probably going to be a very, very quick one. Just going to keep it very basic and just do the vital movements that I need to do. So I'm going to do a single-legged split squat, do some RDLs, so Romanian deadlifts, just work on the hamstrings, and then maybe do some more squats and just do a couple of sort of accessory things that I can do, maybe a little bit of calf work on the step. But we're not going to be out here all day because it is going to rain, like I said, and we don't have the space inside to do this, unfortunately. So we're going to get this done now, and then we're going to wrap the video up in a little while, so stay tuned. Hopefully there'll be some exercises that you haven't done before, but you probably have, because a lot of these are very, very basic, like I said. Let's get into the workout. Okay, workout done. Only 4 exercises there, but it was very thick and fast. The rain is actually starting to come down now, so the camera is actually getting rained on as we speak. So I'm going to make this as quick as possible. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the nutrition plan. I hope you learned something from it. Make sure you stay tuned for the next video, because I'm going to be doing a full day of eating. So how I fill them calories, what sort of advice would I give you to keep calories as low as possible, and hopefully you get some ideas from that one. So make sure you stay tuned. There's going to be a couple of videos on screen now that I think you might enjoy, so maybe give one of them a watch. If not, make sure you hit like, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.